This is Grandma's fodder farm. We're gonna have her show us a little bit about what she's doing and how she has worked out this system. She's been kind of working on it for the last few months, trying different things, and now she's got it to the point that they feed 2 of these a day, 2 trays of fodder, and she weighs it, and that's about 25 pounds of fodder. So we'll have her show us. She just started this. She's gonna cut this one. We'll have her show us her system.
Okay, this is my night routine. I have to first of all cut it up. Use a serrated knife.
And then you take this bucket out.
Yeah, the cows eat it better. This is for the cows. They eat it better if it's in chunks. Chunk it all up.
And you said that this takes you like 15 minutes at night?
My night routine's probably more like 20 minutes. Maybe even 25, depends on. In the morning it takes me about 12 to 14 minutes, and at night I would say 20 to 25. And I'm raising about 25 pounds of fodder. We feed about 25 pounds a day. It starts with about 2 pounds of barley and ends up to be about 12 pounds.
So here's the second tray for the night.
This one's a tad lighter. This is almost 12 pounds. The tray weighs about a half a pound or less. Just like I said, the cows eat it better if it's in chunks.
There's a bucket of fodder.
These are a little bit more fragile. You can see the root mats are kind of delicate.
And how long have these ones been growing?
This is their 5th day. This is day 1.
Okay, so day 1 in the morning you soak it.
No, I started that last night. I soak it for 24 hours.
Okay, 24 hours.
With just a little glug of bleach, but I clean it off. I'll show you when I start a new tray.
Okay.
Okay. I gotta move these.
So you kind of start backwards. You cut up the stuff and then you move everything forward.
Yeah, I have to have the trays to start the next batch.
Yeah.
Now these ones, if I'm careful, I can just strain like this. So I.
So you're soaking them a little bit and then just draining them out, or just rinsing them?
I just rinse it out. This just saves me time. If I let one fill up while I drain one, that's my system for trying to be faster. As you can see, this one's more delicate. You have to be more careful with the first ones.
Because they're just starting to form the root beds.
These have been in the trays set yesterday. One day in these trays.
And then these next ones are 2 days. Got a lot going on over here.
You can see this root bed. This is the 2nd day it's been in the tray, and already these are pretty much indestructible. I mean,
really dense.
Yeah, so you can just tip them right out. I just wait till it gets to be a trickle, and then move on to the next.
And you rinse them to help avoid, that's how you avoid mold?
Well, more sours, just like sprouts. If you've ever raised sprouts, they go sour.
Okay.
You have to rinse them.
So you rinse them so they don't go sour.
And it keeps them wet.
So they keep growing.
They need the moisture.
So you rinse them for moisture and to prevent going sour. And you initially soak them in bleach water to just prevent mold.
About a tablespoon of bleach. That's supposed to help with the mold. Because with fodder, that's supposedly the biggest problem is mold.
And you had mold the first time you tried it, but since then you've kind of worked through it.
I started it in trays Before I got this system with these trays,
Uh-huh.
I started them in this tin and like from the dollar store, the roasting pan.
Roasting pans,
9 by
that's right.
13 trays. I didn't have the covers. I had them covered too tight, I think.
Okay, so
They need ventilation.
So once you got these better trays that are made for
I
it,
haven't had any mold. Part of it is you have to clean it too when you want to start out with it clean.
okay.
I mean that's a big deal too.
Here, so she's covering these over here as she goes along.
It's just kind of my system for trying to hurry along. These, I don't know if you can feel it, but when they create their own heat.
Oh, so they're warm?
I'll show you on this one. So the first water that runs through them to rinse and get moisture, it comes out warm. When you feed this in the winter, it's steamy out there.
Interesting.
From what I've read, it grows best around 70 degrees. If you get it too much more than 70, you want to put your hand here? Oh, now it's almost getting cold. The first stuff that comes out is really warm.
The filling.
So I don't know if we can do it all summer or not.
Yeah, in the summer it might
I don't know.
get too warm in here.
Because that is a mold problem too if it's too warm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the 4th day in here, so this is, I'm just going to rinse it good before I put it in the trays.
So 4 days of sprouting.
This is day 4.
And what is that?
I put those in there so I can stack them and I don't feel like I've got all the weight on the grain.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I just do that.
It's
I don't know.
wood.
Just a block of wood, so I can keep them stacked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you should always rinse with cold water.
Okay.
Don't rinse with warm water.
Just, is that for molding as well?
Supposedly, from what I've read. And I did try warm water because I thought warm water in the winter would keep them warmer.
Uh-huh.
And I did get mold. So since I've rinsed cold water in these trays, I haven't had
Mold.
mold.
So there's the ones all rinsed and in these trays. And I'll link to the trays that we use
Take a picture of these.
on our thing. Yeah,
Those are my
you
favorite.
bought them on Amazon, right?
Mhm.
I'll link to the ones that
I
we
always
bought.
leave the
But
vents
that's
wide open on these.
see they have these vents, and the vents
I like the vent.
allow them to not help again with the not molding.
Done cut.
So there's this.
Okay.
Oh, so this is day 4. You put them in the trays. So the first 3 days they're sprouting in the tubs.
This is pretty much the end of the 4th day.
Right.
Yeah.
Go feed the cows, Grandpa.
Yum, 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 yum.
Just spread it out in there. This keeps the humidity. You're supposed to have a certain humidity. They dry out if you don't cover them.
Okay. So this cover doesn't have a vent though?
No.
But you don't put it on tight, or
Yeah, they do
they don't
okay.
mold.
I haven't.
the first few days?
Yeah, I'd use like saran wrap at first, like over the top of those and stuff. It just didn't.
The saran wrap was too much maybe. But
I don't know.
are these at the same brand? Well, we'll link to them too.
Different places.
I don't know if you can see that.
I got
Second
them from
Sun
all off Amazon. January, February, this is our 3rd month doing it. Some of the trays are just barely starting to crack.
So see how long they last.
But the lids are fine. Okay, this is what I started yesterday. You can see that these are dollar store trays with the holes in them. So I'm taking them out of the solid ones that I leave them in the first night. And put them in these.
Yeah, I can smell the bleach a little bit.
Yeah, they say after 24 hours the bleach disperses.
Okay.
That's
So
what
that
they
it's not
say.
in it when you're feeding the bleach.
It
Evaporates
just
out.
helps if the grain's inferior or moldy, any mold on the grain. It's supposed to take care of that in the beginning.
So you soak it the first day with the bleach to clean it initially, and then after that you don't have mold problems.
Yeah. And then the way it's supposed to work, these kind of drain into each other. So I usually put the newest on the top. So this is day 3 here. Just give it a quick stir. Rinse it out. You can feel the heat. I stir it till like the heat goes out of it. So it's cold. And I just
So I don't know if you can hear that, but so we stir it till the heat goes out of it. Just rinse them off, and then with cold water, and then she stacks them with the newest on the top, so they all kind of drain onto each other.
these will go on the bottom when I'm done. I'll show you because I put the new ones in.
So here's
Okay, these are 2 days.
I don't know if it's
Starting to
2 days, yeah, barely starting to sprout. And again, the wood blocks are just to space them out when she stacks them.
That's just how I do it.
Not an art, but kind of. Grandma's fodder art.
Okay, and then I put these on the cupboard. This is the one I do. This has just a little
this
bit
is
of
the
bleach
bottom?
in it. I just usually rinse it out once in a while.
Just to make sure you
My
keep
spray
it
bottle broke. I should just spray
clean.
it. Yeah.
Kind of wash that out. I guess anytime you use water, then you'd have
Well, it's
the
just-
risk of mold. So.
Yeah, you just want to try to keep stuff clean. Okay. So these here, this is important if you're going to put it on the sink because then the water's continually draining.
Right.
So if they're not clear drained out when you put them on there, it continues to drain out. See how there's still some water in there? It will drain out. So this is that I just took out of the water. That's been in a day. This one's 2 days. And these have been in there 3 days. And then I cover them up with, this one has holes in it. I just cover it up like that. And that's going to sit there.
It's the stack of seeds.
Yep, and they'll just finish draining. They just kind of drain all the way down.
So the newest at the bottom.
Cool.
And now we're gonna start 2 new bins because every day we start. She starts 2 new ones. Oh, that's your precise measuring.
Yeah, I've weighed this.
Okay.
This is just about 2 pounds. Just
Okay. 2 pounds of barley. And you bought the barley.
we get it at a feed store. They sell feed there or seed.
Okay.
And we buy our scrap
Chicken food.
there too. So it's seed. This particular barley is called Xena. Xena.
What's the difference between sprouting like barley or wheat? That was the bleach you put in it.
Yep, just a tiny bit. It's not scientific, don't really measure it, just about a tablespoon I figure. Pour a little bit in.
So what's the difference between barley and like sprouting wheat? Like, is there a reason for barley? Or is that just what fodder is?
I personally have only done barley and have had great success. From everything that I've read, barley sprouts faster than wheat, and it's the vitamins, its nutritional, content is supposed to be slightly better than wheat. Wheat is supposed to be a good second, but I have access. We're in farm country to the barley, and particularly because it's supposed to sprout faster. And that's what I choose. Okay, and the other thing that's important for mold is to clean it out good. So see this stuff that floats?
Mm-hmm.
And I just skim it off.
A little colander.
Mm-hmm. This is actually really quite clean. They've got it cleaned, ready for seed. It's really quite clean. This is a lot of chaff. Some seed in it. You can see there is seed in it, so I clean it off, and then this goes to the chickens so we don't waste it.
Nothing goes to waste on the farm.
But see, there is, seed in it too.
Okay.
But this will feed to the chickens. Tomorrow he'll take it out when he does chores. Tomorrow, when I start, if there's some around the sides or whatnot, then I can clean it off again, not to pour it in. But
so you'll kind of skim it again.
Just kind of around the edges. Okay, I'm done. That's it for the night.
So tell me, why did you start doing this fodder?
We ended up keeping a couple of cows more than we thought we would this winter, and we're a little bit worried about being short of hay.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that we buy hay from had sold more this year, and people is in more demand, so there was no more hay from the ones that we know. It's hard to get small bales, and I'd read about this, and I thought, I'm going to try it. It's supposed to be super good for them. Vitamins. It's supposed to it helps their stomach and whatnot. Utilize the hay that you feed them better. It's supposed to. By feeding this, the quality of hay that you feed doesn't have to be as high. Supposedly, it's really good vitamins and minerals in it from that fresh growing, and it's awesome to feed them this in the winter.
You said that you noticed that their coats looked nice after from eating the fodder.
Yeah, it seems to have really improved the glossiness and their coats. It's supposed to improve their hooves, their feet. It's people have said that's one of the biggest notices in their coats, in their feet. Calving, supposed to calve easier, higher milk production. So we thought we'd give it a try.
Yeah, we'll see. Cool. And so, just to review, it takes you about 15 minutes in the morning, and then another 20 to 25 minutes in the evening, and you feed 25 pounds, around 25 pounds a day to your cows. How many cows do you have out there again? Is it 11 right now? Do you remember? It's a good question, huh?
We've got 4 that are going to calve. 6, so that's 4. Plus we've got the 2 that we're going to butcher. That's 6. And then we've got the 3 calves. So there's 9 out there.
9. Okay.
Cow spit on you.